becoming a republic in 1823, Mexico did not really experience a stable government. Santa Anna would do something heroic, become a president, and then resign and retire to his home in Jalapa near Veracruz, leaving whatever problems were created from his administration to the next president. This went on, and then finally, around 1835, he came into power and said, all right, that's it. I'm going to fix Mexico for good. And he created what's called a centralist constitution. Now, in Mexico, they had two different groups, one wanting the centralization of government, one wanting a more federal system, like the United States of America. And Santa Anna had been favoring the federal side at first, but after a couple of stints in the presidency, he decided that, no, if I'm going to really run things, it has to be a centralized government. Well, the centralized constitution that he promoted led to rebellion throughout Mexico in 1836. Not only in Texas, where we see this image of the Alamo, but also in Zacatecas, in Yucatan, and other locations in Mexico. The actual provinces in Yucatan were able to secede from Mexico and remained independent until 1848, whereas ones closer into Mexico, like Zacatecas and Coahuila and Nuevo León, were eventually recovered and reintegrated into Mexico. Texas, though, was predominantly Anglo in population, not Hispanic, and had a lot of different cultural traditions, like slavery, that weren't really popular in Mexico. So when Santa Anna was choosing which rebellion to crush, he played heavy emphasis on the Texas Rebellion, seeing it as a way to shut down both the American intervention and also to try to rally people around the idea of fighting foreigners. Well, his expedition into Texas went well enough at first. He captured the Alamo quite handily after a siege, and his other general, further south, fought a battle at Goliad and was able to defeat the Texas forces there. By the way, Goliad is an anagram of sorts of Hidalgo. Just a fun little Texas trivia bit there. Well, anyway, after those military victories, he proceeded on to pursue the Texas government on its way out, if you will, and fought a battle at San Jacinto, just outside of what is now Houston. And unfortunately for Santa Anna, the battle didn't go well. He was defeated, captured, and part of the conditions for his release were San Houston demanded that he allow Texas to have its freedom. Santa Anna said, sure, whatever. You have freedom. You defeated me. Well, while Santa Anna was gallivanting in Texas, there was a change of government back in Mexico. He was overthrown. And that government said Santa Anna had no authority whatsoever to hand Texas over to anybody. And they said Texas was still a part of Mexico. This would lead to problems later on, especially when the United States chose to annex Texas in 1845.